AI video has come so far. It's had its glow up. What started as Will Smith eating spaghetti or The Rock eating rocks has evolved into apes vlogging about themselves, NPCs becoming self aware. Even full $1 million commercials are being created with AI generators. And it feels like every day there's a new tool that's being released, and it's kind of overwhelming which tool to use, how to use it, which one to focus on. So these are my top 4 platforms that I've loved that I think are making the biggest waves on social media and the ones that you can use to make content now. Let's go. On to Sora. So a little background on Sora. It used to be invite only. There was a crazy long waiting list for this crazy powerful tool that was made by OpenAI. Now, you can just log in and you can select your plan. So go ahead and do that. You have 2 models, the Pro, the Basic. They just change how many credits you have. Once you're in, you're going to see that Sora is really cool. It has your explore page, your inspiration, and has a lot of really cool tools. Let's just jump into it. So at the bottom, you're going to see the prompting tool where you can instantly start to prompt for the video you want to create. For example, I'm going to do a Viking standing on a cliff. Maybe add some snow. They have some cool settings in this prompt bar. First up is driving image. If you want, you can upload a driving image from an AI image generator like Midjourney to help guide where the footage goes, or you can just use a real image that you have as the guide. They also have this setting called presets. This is your artistic styles. So you have stop motion, which appears very stop motion like. You have papercraft, which makes everything look like it's made out of paper or cardboard. You have film noir, which provides a black and white moody aesthetic, and you have archival, which creates a nostalgic film-like appearance, suitable for short films or like flashbacks. They also have balloon world, which I just think this is really weird. I don't really know what the use case for this is, but here it is. You can also create your own custom preset. So you can create your own film styles by clicking manage and then add. Here you can name the preset, whatever you want to name it, and then you kind of describe the details like camera lighting, film stock, colors, content transformation. You can also upload a reference image or a video to help drive that content output. This is really good if you have a specific look that you want to keep creating over and over and over. And the amount of control Sora gives you over the image is really, really amazing. Now, the next step is aspect ratio, so 9:16, 16:9, or 1:1, and then resolution. You can choose a resolution for your clip. So 480 is the fastest, 1080p will be a lot slower, and then the duration of your clip. A longer time will increase render time. Now, if you're unsure about your output, or if you are wanting options, you can click and generate up to 4 variations. So something like Midjourney just gives you 4 from the get-go. To save you credits, you can choose how many variations that you want. Now on to credits and generation process. Each time you change a setting will change how many credits it's gonna cost you. If you wanna see how many credits you have, you go to the top right corner, and at the top right corner, you will see the credits that you have remaining. Well, let's go ahead and generate. Once you are happy with your settings, you can click enter and you can add your clip to the queue. You can also view its rendering progress by going to all videos. Now, while it's rendering, this is a great time to go to the explore page. The explore page is one of my favorite places to go because you can see the power of Sora. And in the explore page, you can take people's prompts, you can remix them, you can recut them. There are so many things that you can find in the explore page. And I find that whenever I'm rendering or waiting for something to get done, then the explore page is just a great place to, waste your time for getting ideas and getting inspired. Anyway, now that you're done and you're gonna review. So as you can see, Sora is a super powerful tool and it's a great video generator and it's very easy to use. So Sora has some of the most advanced tools for AI generators out there. The first one up is Storyboard. This is Sora's most advanced editing tool by far. It provides control over the actions in a sequence across a familiar timeline. And the way to use it is through caption cards. You describe the setting, the character, and the actions you want at specific points in the clip. So with my Viking character, as he's standing on the cliff, at some point, if I want him to raise his hand, I can, at that point in time in the video, write that prompt. There's also a really cool experimental tool called Blend that allows you to transform and influence one video with another. So if you like one aspect of another video and this aspect of a video, you can effectively smash those two videos together. Some of the other tools are recut, extensions, and loop. So that's Sora. Sora is super exciting, and I can't wait to see what you guys make with it. One of the things I love about Runway is its explore page. This is called Runway Watch, and Runway Watch is everyone who's making really cool stuff can submit it to film festivals to help creators understand what is possible. There is so many things, just out of the world ideas that just kind of blow my mind. So I love this. Anytime these programs can show you what their tools are possible of, it just kind of helps you understand what the guardrails are and what you can do. So I suggest spending a lot of time in here. The other thing about Runway is it is not just one tool, it is a bunch of tools. So you have generative video, which we're going to go to, images, audio, lip sync video. So I can actually record my face and lip sync it onto a character, which is absolutely crazy. Slow motion, so you can take regular speed footage and slow it down, and you have in painting where you can paint somebody out or paint them in. Today we are going to be going into generative video. You can do chat mode right here, so very similar to Gemini or Google VEO3, where you just describe your image. Or you can go to this mode, which is tool mode, and this gives you a lot of options. It has a add a reference image, and then it also has sketch a scene. You can draw out what you were thinking, and it's giving you multiple ways to attack generating things. And I love that. I love that for somebody who needs to sketch it out, or for someone who's better describing it, or if you want to add reference images, or if you want to do all three of them together. This is a great tool for that. So let's go ahead and generate our first image. I always like generating the image first and then going to the video. So here's my prompt. I don't know exactly how it's going to happen, but in reference mode, you're able to tag all of your elements and you can reference them in your prompt. So this is such a cool tool. So I have it at night referencing this image, stands in front of a large castle, this castle right here, and it has cold and cool tones like color. So gain the color from that one. And so here we go. Are we ready? Yes, we are. Oh, look at this is amazing. Look at this. So again, it gives you all these options. I'm going to input this for video. Slow zoom in on the night. Smoke blows in the background. He grimaces as the camera pushes forward. Now you also have your settings in here that you can kind of play around with, and you can change your aspect ratio. Let's do 21:9. Yes, sir. And here it goes. So, okay, so we're looking at this, and his facial expressions are not great. So I'm going to take a recorded video that I did. Where is it? This guy. And we're going to see if we can take this face and use it over here. I'm going to go back to 21:9 because that's cinema mode. Crop. Using Act 2. Again, Act 2 is this really great new update that they have where you can take video performances and you can overlay it onto your video. So let's generate. Let's see what happens. And it's done. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. This is absolutely crazy. It's a little freaky. So with Act 2, you're able to make your characters come alive, not just with your facial expression, but you can also move the entire body and animate scenes that weren't possible before. Okay, so Midjourney. Midjourney is super exciting. To go through it, you have your Explore page, your Create page, your Edit tab, and your Personalization tab. So you have your Explore page, which shows you everything that Midjourney can do. And a reminder, this is the best of Midjourney. You have your Create page, where you can go write a prompt. You have your Edit page, where it's like your own built-in Photoshop. And you have your Personalization page, where you train Midjourney on what you like. And so it can give you better end products that are aligned with your style and preferences. And then you have your Organize page, which is just all of your prompts that you've done. So to get into a prompt, there's two ways to do it. One, you can just literally just type in here, or you can explore it. Let's say we're doing a food blog. Yeah, we need a table set like this, and we can prompt it. We can say, hey, take this style, and we can go and write a prompt. So I can do bread on a table, and it's now referencing this image. I'm going to use cinematic because that makes everything better, right? And then it's off to the races. Now there's another way you can create. You just type in what you want. So we're just going to do bread on a table. So this has no style guide. This is like, you can just go right into it. Bam. I'm just going to show you the difference real quick. And I know what you're thinking, like, hey man, I want to make videos. I don't need pictures. Well, this is part of it. So what you're doing is finding the right picture, the right aesthetic, the right framing, and then you animate it. So here we go. Look at this bread. That looks so good. So that was using that style of that one that we liked. And now this is just bread with no style guide. Neither of them are wrong or right. It's just kind of like, what are you looking for? So I can go click on this and then I can go animate it. If I like the image, click this, this helps. And for your animating, there's a couple ways that you can do this. So you can automatically do it, or you can manually do it. I like to do low motion. This is great. Look at this. I don't even know what's happening. This probably doesn't even make sense. I don't know why this person's pouring stuff, but there you go. We have an animated video. Again, we are 6 out of 10 right now. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. So we're gonna have to work on this a little bit, but you can see how quickly you can get a result going. Now, let's say we are just loving this bread thing, but we didn't like something. You can go to edit. And it seems like the problem that we're running into right now, let's say this is like causing us problems. So let's just highlight that bread on table and let's submit the edit, see what happens. Oh, wow. Oh, my weird was up. Always turn your weirdness down. And again, you get 4. So this is very interesting. So you can completely retexture it. So I could, let's say I wanted it animated. This is going to take the image and retexture it. Oh, look at that. You can take images, completely restyle them, and then you can animate them afterwards. So to break it down again, in your create page, you can just type something and you can get the image. If you want to customize it, you can put stuff in for style references. So for instance, I'm working on a dog, cat, gangs of New York thing. I can go in and put a style reference in. So I'm going to do a black cat running under a city bridge, night, Asian lights. Don't know what Asian lights are. And then I come over here. Here we go. So what happens when you have an image that you like, but it's just not 100% there? You can basically click this, V strong, and it gives you 4 more of that style. And you can keep going into that style, into that image until it gets closer to what you want. Just love the bridge here. Perfect. This is what I want. And then I can animate it. And again, when you animate it, it gives you 4 more. So as that's wrapping up and giving me a new version, the thing I love about Midjourney, the explore page, the create page, you can go as complex or as simple as you'd like, the edit page, and then the personalization page. If you want to create a certain mood, if you're in a certain niche, use this to tell Midjourney what you like and what it should be giving you. So once you have a video that you like, you can rerun it or you can up-res it. When you're creating, you can just type in a simple prompt. You can take prompts from other people's prompts. You can customize it and add an image prompt, a style reference, and an omni reference. Omni reference is if you want to put in a certain item into your picture. Style is more like the aesthetics, the look, the feel. The image prompt is more so like your camera work. And so between these 3 references, you can really stylize and hone in what you're looking for. And then on this side, this is your aspect ratio, your aesthetics, and what model you're using. Again, Midjourney, super exciting. It takes time to get good at it. If you're going to get into AI video, I think Midjourney is a player that's going to be here to stay. Really great explore page. You can create really simple or you can go really in depth. Google VEO3 has taken the internet by storm. It has become, in my opinion, the leader in AI generated video. The really cool thing that makes VEO3 stand out is its audio interface. And you can have characters that talk and show emotion. The way you access it, it's built into a bunch of different platforms, but the platform that's the easiest is Google Gemini. And then you're gonna look up here if you have the Pro plan, awesome. If you don't have the Pro plan, Google has a bunch of promos that keep happening, whether they give you free credits or discounts on monthly subscriptions, but it is pricey. It is pricey, but I think it's worth it. So when you're prompting, you're basically doing descriptive video. A man in his mid-40s baking bread, flour, and eggs are seen on a table. Looks like he is in Italy. Sunrise coming through. Bird lands on the window. Man says, wow, nice bread. And we're going to make sure the video, this is a hard prompt, but we're going to see what happens here. Here we go. Let's see what happens.
Ooh, wow. This is good bread.
Absolutely amazing. Good looking dude. I don't know how the bird got in there. It doesn't really make sense. I guess there's a broken windowsill, but I don't have any skill prompting. And look how good of a shot I got. Subtitles are wrong, but we're close. You can add photos if you want to make something consistent. You can add yourself to it. So for instance, I'm going to find a photo of myself and we're going to do the exact same prompt all over again. And let's see how it goes. Okay, so here it is. Our video is ready. So let's click and watch it.
Wow, this is good bread.
No idea what I did to the bird, but this is a cool scene. Thing I love about VEO3 is it's very easy to use. It's very easy to access. Thank you so much for watching. This is my roundup of my top 4 favorite tools to use for AI generated video. If you want more videos like this, please leave that in the comments. Say it below. If you want a deep dive on Runway or any of these tools, let us know. We are a channel to educate you on all things e-commerce. Like and subscribe. See you later.